Welcome back to the Overcoming Your Trauma course. In today's part, we're talking about preparing for healing. There is hope. So what can you be prepared for when you're healing? Can you heal from trauma? Let's ask this question again. After everything you have learned, do you think it's possible to heal from trauma? This was one of the very first questions that I asked you at the very beginning. Can you heal from trauma? Yes, absolutely. You absolutely can heal from any sort of trauma that happens to you. But how? Well, we talked about a lot of the things that will lead you up to the healing journey. We talked about how you can overcome denial, repressed memories, depression, anxiety, a variety of other things that end up coming into your life as a result of trauma. But one of the key things is forgiveness and gratitude. Forgive those who have wronged you and let go of grudges. Are you able to do that? Do you harbor a grudge within you? Do you have hatred within you towards someone that wronged you? Let's take a look back at people who have abused you in the past. Do you hold a grudge against them? Do you have a hatred towards them? Did you know that hatred, that grudge that you're harboring within you is basically you unable to let go of the past? When you're unable to let go of the past, what happens? Trauma, repressed memories, they're continuing to be with you. So what do you have to do? You have to be able to forgive those abusers from the past. You have to learn to let go of the grudges. Are you able to do that? Are you able to even face your abuser head on and say, I forgive you for what you have done to me? Are you able to do that? Most people are not able to do that because they harbor grudges within them. But I know that you are so strong that you are able to do this. Maybe not necessarily be able to say it to the person face to face. It may not be a possibility for you. It may not even be an option for you if the person who has abused you is no longer in your life, they've passed away, or for whatever other reason. But regardless, if you're able to tackle this obstacle, you will feel so much better because you're finally letting go of the past. Once you're able to forgive those people and let go of that negativity, I can assure you, you will feel so much better. Now, forgiveness and gratitude can come in many different ways here. Whether that be perhaps even getting out all of the negative memories and emotions that you have regarding a person. So if you were wronged by someone and you want to tell them off, you want to say all these nasty things that they have done to you, directly to their face. You have to be able to do it in a much more calm and relaxed way. If you want someone to know that they have hurt you, there's nothing wrong with that, but how you go about it could be a very negative thing. That's where a lot of chaos and violence comes into play because people are trying to force someone else to see, look how bad you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back in return. That's not what you want to do. No. What you want to do instead is be able to approach it in a much more effective way, to be able to properly address the issues with the person. Now, that may also not be an option for you if the person that abused you is not willing to even hear you out. They may be completely unwilling to hear you out. They may continue to gaslight you and blame you. You cannot get angry at that. You cannot get upset at that. You have then had confirmation that this person is the way that they are, and how they treated you in the past is identical to how they're still treating you now. But you have moved on. They're still stuck in the past, but you have moved on. So let go of the grudges, let go of the hatred, let go of all of that, and just forgive people. No matter what, forgive them. It is hard, but forgive them and you will feel so much better. Be grateful for the negative things that have shaped you. This is also an extremely important part as well, because you would not be the same person you are today if the situations from the past, if the abuse never happened. Now, you can view that as, well, that's a very negative thing. All of these bad things that happened to me in the past, yeah, I would not be the same person I am today because I am riddled with all of these issues and problems. But look at the people in your life. Maybe like your best friend, and perhaps even some other family members, other people in your life. You would never have probably met them if it hadn't been for your negative state that you were in before. I've had this happen to me multiple times where if I was not abused in the past, if I did not deal with the same problems I dealt with in the past, my life would be entirely different. I would not be here today if it wasn't for all of the issues in my past. The whole reason I am here today and helping other people is because of what happened to me in the past. So I am grateful for those negative things that happened, no matter how bad that they were. I am grateful for all the mistakes that I've made to help shape me into a better person. Because you learn from the past, you learn from the negative things that happen, and you become better. So view the negative things as something positive, and it will tremendously improve your life. Because guess what? You're a strong person. Whether you wish to believe it or not, you're an incredibly strong person if you have dealt with any sort of trauma and abuse, and you are here today, focusing on improving your life, improving the quality of your own life and those around you, and striving each day to be the best you can be. You're an incredibly strong person. Never let anyone else tell you otherwise. And if someone does say that you are worthless, that you will never amount to much, prove them wrong. Prove them wrong in a very productive, positive manner by showing just how strong you actually are. Living in the present moment and being mindful. So as we discussed, depression is being stuck in the past. Anxiety is being stuck in the future, like what-if scenarios, which is caused by the past trauma. But mindfulness is being in the present moment. So that is what's happening right now. If there is a flashback that is happening to you, and you are, feeling the sensations and the memories are just flooding back, that's not what's happening in the present moment. Present moment, mindfulness is what is happening right now. The trauma that happened in the past is not what is happening now. Unless you are currently in a situation where past trauma is continuing to happen, such as perhaps you were physically abused when you were younger and now you have a partner that also physically abused you, that is the negative trauma from the past reliving itself in your current partner. That is a bit of a different situation that you would need to leave the partner and find something better that's going to improve the quality of life because you deserve better. However, if you're not in that negative situation and you feel as though someone is going to harm you, someone is going to do negative things to you and hurt you, you're no longer in the past. You don't live in the past anymore. The past is done and over with. The abuse is done and over with, which is what happened in the past. So you have to learn to move on from that and be in the present moment. What is happening right here and now? What are some techniques you can do to be in the present moment? There are any number of things you can do. Whether that be reading a book, some of those positive coping mechanisms that we talked about before, reading a book, playing a game, watching something, even just a form of meditation. But some people, especially with trauma, can find it hard to meditate because you will have the past memories resurfacing. So find some sort of way to allow you to be in the present moment with what's happening right now, to take your mind off of any sort of thing that brings you back to the past and brings anxiety into your life, like, oh, what if this, what if that? Being in the present moment is a number one key to being able to heal from trauma, because you're in the present moment, you're mindful, and you're realizing that what's happening right now is not related to the past. And what will happen in the future is uncertain. There's no need to worry about it. It'll happen. Whatever will happen, what will happen. You have to learn to let that go. So be in the present moment and you will find much success. So what are some healing side effects? Well, when you're going through the process of healing, you may think that everything would just get better on its own. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Things will get worse before they get better. As we talked about before, things will get worse before they get better. This is a realization that you will have to make, and you have to realize that if you truly want to heal, you have to relive the memories as if they're actually happening to be able to talk about them and to let them go. If they're deep within you, the negative emotions and memories are deep within you, you can't just expect them to just dissipate and go away. No, they have to come out. They have to surface. You have to talk about them. And then once you talk about them and kind of relive it, it's out. It's fully out for you to address. You address it, you overcome it, and you form new memories and replace them. And then you've moved on. Something positive there. It's because repressed memories and emotions are resurfacing. They're coming back to you. It's different from living in the past. It very much is different. It's almost as if things are getting worse for you. That's what it can feel like. It really can. But I can assure you that with enough time and you employing the proper coping mechanisms, or even seeing a correct therapist or psychologist to really help you drill down deep into these problems, or even just talking about it with your own friends and family, you're able to overcome this problem. And these repressed memories and emotions will resurface. You'll be able to deal with them and let them go, which is the key. You don't want to bring them back in. You want to just let them go and form new memories. Then you want to, anything from the past, anything that you are addressing from the past, you want to let that go. Just let that go. It comes out, it resurfaces, you're addressing it, you're letting it go, and you're replacing it with much more positive things. And you have to be patient as well. This is going to take time. Think about all of the years that you were abused for. Then think about all the subsequent years you've been living with the guilt, with the negativity, with the flashbacks, all that sort of stuff. You cannot expect it to be gone within a short period of time. It could take many years, but that should be your encouragement to keep going and to start today. If you knew it was going to take 3 or 4 years to fully be able to deal with the trauma and get to a point where you're much happier, why would you want to wait another month, 2 months, a year even? Or just continue to say, I'm not going to do it, it's too much work. Start it today. There's no problem starting today if you just put in the time and effort to be able to start it today. Just do it today and you will be so successful with it. In our final part, we're talking about physical and spiritual healing.